Okay, so we've got agent's commission percentage over here, and it shows an error, and it's an error so that you can correct this and make sure that you haven't really left anything. So it's showing an error because we have all these units that we are selling, and we have used all these units in order to calculate their construction cost. We have figured out what their market value is going to be, and this is the method that we are going with, which is bold. These are certain metrics that you might want to have a look at. So right now, this is showing an error because we have only allocated the agent's commission for the top row, which is just these 4 units. But we've gone up until row number 18, and we have said that we are going to, be developing about 15 units and so. So when I come here, I have to select that and make sure that this percentage is allocated everywhere else as well. So in this scenario, we go up to 1.5, but it could be that the ones that you sell earlier in the project could be pre-sales where you had to pay extra for commission, and you can say, look, the first 4 that I'm going to sell, I'll be paying 5% commission or whatever. This other part is that quite often a lot of real estate agents would say that we want 50% of our commission upfront when we get you a unconditional signed contract that has bought your property. It's because real estate agents might have other channel partners that they have to pay, or they might need that money for their own cash flow. But it is becoming common every day where this section comes in. So we need to make sure that this is set up automatically. So we need the sales commission at signing. So that means that whenever we are signing them, whenever this is happening, we have to give them 30% commission upfront. So we can select that, and you can say that, okay, I'm going to be paying 50% commission upfront, or whatever that is. You can add those numbers over here. So once you've got all these in, these sections here, the light gray section is basically your GST amount and so on, and this is just giving you a percentage of your total GRV, which is your gross realization value. So if GST isn't applicable to you, you don't have to worry about it, just minimize that thing. Section over here, start and end, this is automatically picking up the date when your construction is complete, because right now what we are going to post over here are the sales when the actual money is coming in. So we don't worry about what percentage of commission that we are paying to the agent when we are signing off, because when we are signing upfront commission, that date is a separate date that we can select later on below over here. So right now what we are doing is focusing on the money that has to come in. Now, this whole feasibility has options for you to distribute the money that's coming in an S-curve. And you can also select the steepness of that S-curve. Do you want it to be steep, moderately, moderately flat, or totally flat? Something like this, you can get away with that, but I prefer to keep everything on an S-curve. You can change that to straight line, because see, we are trying to forecast how the money is going to come in at the end of construction. So if you see 1st of December 21st, and you go back here, and you'll see that you are actually construction's finishing on 30th of November 2021, based on the numbers that I've given over here. So it is automatically picking up the date when my settlement is going to start, and it is going to go on for 3 months. This again is getting picked up from what we had put in over here based on our settlement buffer. And during that period when the sale is coming in, it could be, in an S-curve, it could be in a flat. So if you think it is going to be flat, select straight line and keep that as flat. But if you think that it could be in an S-curve, in the sense that not all sales where you expect them to settle will settle on the exact same date. So what I would do is, I would keep them maybe flat so that they are sort of evenly distributed across the 3 months. And that is what we are trying to do in this section. So I can select that, and up until row 18, this is what I've got. I can have the same value over here, and that is the reason it was showing error, because we had not distributed these values. So now that I've got my agent's commission sorted, I've got my sales commission at signing that I will need to pay to the agent. I've got that sorted. I've got my dates, I've got my S-curve and everything, and if I press save and refresh, this will then extrapolate that data and forecast it and put it in my cash flow. So you'll see that the first ones come out okay. The second one will come out okay as well after we are done with the other ones as well. So if you go here, you'll see that this is when the money is coming in, and it has distributed the amount of money that is supposed to come in over the 3 months after the construction is finishing, and it distributes all that data over here. And let me just zoom out and show you what it looks like. So if you see what we have here, we had the number of units that we are going to develop. We can customize them and put their names over there. We can select the type of construction cost calculation method that we are going to use. Once we've done that, we've got all these other metrics that it gives us. It gives us the total area, percentage of the total area for that particular unit, net saleable area, percentage of net saleable area for that particular unit, construction costs for that unit, and land value for that unit per area. So whatever the value of the land was, we calculate this based on the area occupied by that unit. And we've got our market value per unit and market value per net saleable area that we have. And we have market value per net saleable area as our chosen method, because that's what we have selected. We have selected the amount of commission that we will have to pay to our agents, and the amount of money off that commission that will come out up front. So we are doing that to be able to figure out our outgoings, because this sale might happen even before you start construction. So unless you know that this is the money that you will need to pay up front, how will you know what your monthly cash flow is going to be for that period? So what are your outgoings going to be for that time? And we've got our dates, and we've got our S-curve distribution based on the steepness of the curve. So if you look at these values, so we've got 369, 390, 369. So this is moderately flat. So let's say I change this to maybe steep, and then I go save and refresh. Let's see what does that look like now. So you'll see that it was 369, 390, and now it looks like 75, 979, and 75. So what it is doing, it is distributing the total amount of money that's coming in across 3 different payments, because we've said that this money could come in across 3 different months, because we've allowed 3 months for our settlement right here. So that's how this thing works. So now we've done that, we'll get into the commercial section in the next video, which is very similar to the residential section. However, it has certain other things that we have to keep account for, and there's a different method of calculating the end value of a commercial unit.